Hey everyone, AlmondWalrus here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to take down level 98 in the Cetra tower. So this is the team I'm going to be using. In the DPS slot we have Tifa. Now you're going to need to use someone with a wind weapon, and your choices would be Tifa, Yuffie, Aerith, Sephiroth, or now Zac in the most recent FF9 banner. I think Tifa's probably the weakest of all of those choices, but I'm showing you how to get it done with Tifa. Now in her case I have an OB10 motor drive, which certainly helps. It's a hard-hitting weapon, but it is the weakest of all of the wind weapons in the game currently. Now because of the nature of the fight, you're up against a behemoth that's using physical attacks. It's important to be able to protect yourself by buffing your own defense. You can't actually debuff the behemoth's physical attack, so the only way to really buff yourself to survive is through making your defense go up. Now in this case I have two characters who can do that. I have Matt with Centipede, and I also have Barrett with his assault gun, which provides agitation. With that, let's just jump in and we can look at the builds individually. So the other thing that this level does is one of the penalties is that it lowers your health. So though Tifa has 15,600 health, when she actually gets into the fight, it's closer to 11,000, I believe. So keep that in mind. That's why the health numbers are so inflated. You can also see here that I've tried to buff P-Def on every single character. Tifa is going to be the lowest on the team because I needed to build her for DPS. But I'm using Motor Drive here as her main weapon, with Guide Gloves in the secondary slot for its R abilities. And now I'll go through the materia here. Now in this case it's for P-Def and HP. Another stat stick here for P-Attack and HP, but crucially this is a circle sigil, which is needed in this fight. Last but not least, we have another stat stick here, in this case for P-Attack and HP. And in terms of her outfit, I'm using the newly buffed FF9 outfit. Normally I'd be using her cowgirl outfit, her tour guide outfit, but because of the HP nerf that this level inflicts, I went with this outfit instead just to get my HP as high as possible. For the limit break, I'm using Somersault just to debuff the defense of the behemoth to get some extra DPS in, but it's not necessary. For the sub-equips, I'm using the Apocalypse here. This is to boost attack and boost wind potency. Tifa's Oven Mitts, this is a free weapon, and this is just for HP and P-Def. And last but not least, I'm using Glavinus Sword. This is purely because it has a huge HP counter and also does a little bit of physical ability potency. If you don't have this weapon, you can just use Mad Minute instead. It'll do the trick as well. Moving on to Matt. Matt is using a Centipede here. I don't have an OB6, but an OB4 Centipede is perfectly fine. It's probably overkill with respect to Barrett, who has agitation. In fact, the better character for this would be using Aerith with her Floral Wand, which can debuff wind, and then that way she can also heal. But frankly, in Matt's case here, he's perfectly fine to use. And I'm trying to show how you can do it with a team that doesn't have Wind Imperil and also doesn't have extra circle sigil breaks. So, Centipede in the main hand. Giant Fork, which is a free weapon, purely for HP and P-Def in the offhand. The materia here are stat sticks that boost heal primarily. Another heal stat stick that also has a high HP amount. And a circle sigil break, which is needed. This one, again, focusing on heal HP, although it does have a small amount of P-Def. For Matt, I'm using his Gear Exchange Voucher outfit, which is the best heal outfit I have, and it also happens to boost P-Def, which is important. For the limit break here, I picked Gigantic Shield. I don't think I actually ever used it in the fight. You can choose whichever one you want, but Gigantic Shield was my emergency limit break just in case I needed to buff P defense at some point in the fight. For subs, I'm using Guard Stick. This is really to boost heal. Using Hell House Cannon, which is a free weapon, HP and P-Def. And Hell House Collar, same thing, free weapon, boost HP, boost P-Def. Lastly, with Barret, really his inclusion here is to do two things. It's to use his Assault Gun here to cast Agitation, which will triple high boost P-Def for the party. And I have a Cura on him just to off heal as needed. It's not critical, but it does make the fight a little easier in case you get behind on the damage at any point. In Barret's main hand, I have his free weapon purely for the P defense. You could use anything else that probably provides more value, but again, I'm trying to show how you solo DPS this fight and have, a team that is fundamentally equipped with mostly free weapons. I have a stat stick on him. Now for him, I'm just focusing on P-Def. So he has 19 on this one, plus some HP, which is great. And then of course he needs a Circle Sigil break as well. And here, again, I tried to pick the one that I had with the highest physical defense. Barret's outfit is also his Gear Exchange outfit from the shop. HP and P defense happens to work out really well for this fight. Unfortunately, I don't have a better outfit for Barret, or frankly, any banner outfit for Barret. I'm using his Mind Blow limit break here. Again, this isn't critical. You can use whichever one you want. I like the fact that this one goes to high for the physical defense debuff, so in combination with Somersault, I can actually get 3 tiers of P defense down on the Behemoth, which helps to boost my DPS. In the sub-equips, I have a free weapon here, Lucia's free weapon that boosts HP and P defense. I have an OB10 Prism Rod purely for the boost HP. The wind potency does nothing for Barret because he has no way to actually do wind damage in this build. You can replace this with anything that has a high HP amount. And then I'm using 4-point Shuriken, which is boost HP. That's helpful. And also buff debuff extension goes up, which is nice because Agitation, the one drawback is that it does not last very long. So being able to buff it for a little bit longer certainly helps to make sure it doesn't fall off before a big attack. So in conclusion, HP 15,000 on Barret, P defense 233, he's a tank. Tifa 15,600 HP, physical attack 5,000, and then 142 physical defense. And then Matt, 13,800 HP, 187 physical defense. You'll notice I'm not using any limit break weapons to boost Tifa's physical attack, so I'm trying to make this team as accessible as possible. And with that, let's jump into the fight. So the first thing we want to do here is switch to Barret, because he needs to get ready to use Agitation here. Especially because Head Thrash constantly will lower your defense during this fight. In terms of healing, there's no point to go into defense stance. The first couple hits from the Behemoth aren't anything to be worried about. He will buff his attack later in the fight though, so that will definitely change. But for now, it's really all about buffing defense, getting ready for this body slam. This one's going to hurt a little bit, but we'll be able to heal up quickly after it, and having Agitation up means that the damage is more minimal than if you didn't have any defense buffs at all. Again here, it's just managing the damage. Every time he uses Head Thrash, try and put Agitation back up, defend the spin attacks, and heal up. Fundamentally, the damage that he's putting out is not substantial, except for a few moments in the fight, but for now it's a relative cakewalk. The goal here is really just to slowly chip away at his health, because once he gets to 50%, he's going to use Stamina Charge, which will heal him back to full. And then really at that point the actual fight will begin, because his damage capacity will go much higher. You can see the AI here is buffing Tifa with solid bravery. It's not really going to do much of a difference with one attack up, but sometimes the AI is actually harder than the fight itself. For some reason, Barret needed to get his physical attack buff too. That's exactly what I mean when it comes to the AI. So here, we're using the limit break to debuff the behemoth so that the damage can get pushed through at a higher rate. We use agitation again because we got debuffed because of head thrash, and then we continue. It's a very similar pattern: agitation from Barret, healing from Matt, sonic spiral from Tifa. We're nearing the 50% point, so the behemoth will be using stamina charge shortly to heal himself up. And there it goes. So here when we switch to Tifa, we're going to hold some ATB, and the reason for that is the behemoth is going to go into rampage and debuff his own defense. Now we can unload. That just gets us some extra damage along the way. Here again, head thrash into spin attack. I didn't have enough ATB on Barret to get agitation up, but that's okay. We're back on track here. He's going to use another spin attack, and we'll heal up. Here I'm going to animation cancel because the heal I did with Matt wasn't in defense stance, so this will refund his ATB, and I'll be able to do it properly this time. I'll switch back to Matt and recovery circle. Now we're good. So this body slam is important here. You need to put agitation up, or at least my team does, in order to survive. But crucially, do not heal after this attack finishes. It's going to put the team low into critical health, but he's immediately going to go into a sigil phase, which is important to not heal, because then you won't be able to break the sigils. Specifically, the team I brought does not have any extra circle sigil breaks, just to show you that it is possible without it, but you can see there, it's tight. Now we can heal up, and the behemoth will go into his head thrash spin attack pattern again. Here I use somersault to animation cancel just to buy my team a little bit more time to build their ATB. Now Mind Blow will be able to put the defense down 3 tiers. It adds on to somersault, which is pretty good. Somersault can't go high, but Mind Blow can. And now I'm getting ready to use agitation once the head thrash goes, and then again recovery circle to heal the team back up. He's going to do it again here. Ah, my apologies, he goes right into just doing his swipes, which gives breathing room. I switched to Tifa just to make sure that the AI isn't using sonic spiral when the command gauge isn't full. It does make a pretty big difference on damage, and the AI likes to just unload regardless. You can see that the damage that the behemoth is putting out is not exactly critical, except for his major attacks. Obviously you're going to need to have agitation permanently up, and as long as you have a decent healer like Matt, you're going to be able to keep your team topped off in the interim periods here. So again, he's going into a body slam. So need to make sure the team's topped up, need to make sure that the team has max defense, and then we're going to have a sigil break right after this. So again, it's important not to immediately spam heals. It doesn't matter that the team's going to be low on HP. It's more important to be able to have ATB to break the sigils. So again, there we go. And we're good. I take a moment to heal the team up here, and we still have limit breaks if we need to animation cancel. Somersault's doing double duty here. We're debuffing the behemoth, we're animation canceling, giving time to be able to use agitation, and then to top the team off here with recovery circle. And at this point, the behemoth doesn't have long left. We're going to use a Sonic Spiral here, and one last Sonic Spiral from Tifa will finish the match. I'm going to top her off with Cure just to make sure that there's no shenanigans. And here's the last Sonic Spiral, and down goes the Behemoth. So pretty straightforward, not a very technical fight. You just need to really make sure that your team is buffed and protected and always topped off, especially for the body slams. As long as you've stacked P-Def here, you can see you need DPS, obviously, you need a wind attacker, but Tifa's solo DPS was totally fine. Hopefully this helps clear it, especially without Wind Imperil. I think this is a bit more accessible, but please like and subscribe if this was helpful, and I'll be back with some more content later.